Hi everyone, if you're new to this channel, this is Plant-Based Journey and my name is Antonio. Every month I try to update you on my weight loss journey. I went vegan in November of 2019 and I've lost about 25 pounds since. Things are going quite well. Today I am 226.6 pounds, which means I had a 6.2 pound loss in February, which is excellent. It's excellent just in general, but it's excellent also because I didn't drop my calories. I was eating 2,050 calories on average, and my activity level dropped drastically as a result of a surgery and recovery, quite problematic recovery, as I'll cover in a moment. When it comes to this diet, I'm really enjoying it, and I do recommend it to people who are interested in losing weight, improving their health, and as a side effect, improving also the environment and being kinder to animals. In this video, I didn't want to just give you an update on my current weight, but also give you a status update on my health. Those of you who have been following the journey know that I've had some issues with kidney stones. This is kind of a recurring issue. It's been going on for years, really, and I think it stems from, in part, genetics, in part, my previous diet. I was on a ketogenic diet, and I think that's kind of one of the dark sides of the ketogenic diet that is often not really discussed enough, in my opinion. At any rate, I was supposed to have a surgery on the procedure, I should say, rather than surgery, on February 6th. This procedure is a fairly simple procedure. So the idea is that they blast your kidneys with a machine that sends ultra waves to break down the stone, right? So it's a high energy, very concentrated laser, so to speak, that breaks down the stones for you. The problem is that when I went there, this is kind of far away from where I live. It's about 5 hours away. So we drove there, I booked an hotel, and I go to the hospital and they tell me that they have two problems. The first is that the machine is broken. It never happens, but it actually turns out to be a good thing. I'll explain why in a moment. And two, the x-rays could not see my kidney stones. So they told me, well, maybe you already passed them. And I told them, look, I did pass some fragments, but I definitely didn't pass a large stone like the one that was found through other diagnostic methods in the past. In the past, a few months ago, they found an 11 millimeter kidney stone on the left, and I definitely did not pass a 1 centimeter long stone. So I convinced them to do a CT scan because what happens is that kidney stones, which are uric acid kidney stones, tends to be radiolucent, so they don't often show up under x-rays. So with a CT scan, you have an opportunity to actually, see them. So they did a CT scan, and sure enough, they found the 11 millimeter stone on the left. I also told them, do it also on the right, because I'm pretty sure I have one on the right. And sure enough, I had a stone there too. Now, the one on the right was fine for the most part. It was just a matter of removing it. But the one on the left was quite complicated because it was impacted, which means that it was kind of encrusted in the ureter and the channel where the urine passes, and it was kind of creating a block. So that put the kidney itself in danger. So they say, we need to do a surgery right away. We need to just get rid of this too right away. So they did the surgery, they did the general anesthesia, and they went in there through the urethra and destroyed these two stones. Then they put in stents, which are basically 12-inch long tubes, rubber tubes that allow urine and fragments of stones to flow through more naturally. So they put two stents on the left and one stent on the right. The one on the right was kind of a special thing because they actually attached a cord that went through the urethra and the penis. So you find yourself with this cord dangling essentially. And the idea is that 5 days after the surgery, so I had the surgery on the 6th, on the 11th or the 12th, you're supposed to just pull this cord and the right stent will come out. And then about a month later, you would have another surgery under general anesthesia to remove the two stents on the left. That was the plan. However, I was having all sort of troubles with the stent on the right. I had a ton of pain, a ton of bleeding. I lost so much blood. In fact, my blood work showed that all the parameters that indicates that you lost blood were very low, like my hemocrit, my hemoglobin, all of that. And basically, I went to a walk-in clinic and the doctor tried to pull the cord to remove the stent. The cord came out, but the stent did not. And that's not a good thing, let me tell you, because what it did, it dislodged internal plastic tube, the stent, in the process of trying to remove it. So not only the procedure of trying to remove the stent was kind of painful, but the stent itself now was in an incredibly annoying position. It was located basically just pushing on top of the prostate, and part of it lodged itself in the beginning of the ureter. You can think the base of the penis essentially. So it's a very painful position. It actually caused me incontinence. So after a few days of trying to power through and saying, okay, in a month they're going to do the surgery on the left to remove those, maybe I can wait it out. So after a couple of days of trying to power through, I realized this is not sustainable. It's impossible to keep going this way. I'm in extreme pain. I don't have control on the urinary process. It just doesn't work. So I went to the ER, and at the ER they did an x-ray and they found out that yes, I was absolutely right. The position of the stent was where I told them that I felt it was, and they said, yeah, it needs to come out. They kept me there for about 6 hours, and then they realized that, well, we don't have a urologist on staff, so we cannot remove it. It needs to come out, but we can't remove it today. So they said, we have a couple of news, one good, one bad. The good news is we have one about 90-minute drive away at a different hospital. The bad news is he's not going to do the procedure under general anesthesia, so we're going to have to remove it just without anesthesia. So at that point I was so fed up with it, so much pain, I was like, let's just do it. So we drive 90 minutes, we go to the other hospital, and then shortly after I see the urologist there on staff who does the procedure without anesthesia. I'm not gonna lie, going through this metal tube scope through your penis, fully awake, to grab the stent and yank it out, it's painful. It's not fun at all. It's very painful. But credit to the urologist, it was very, very quick. Like the whole process took the preparation process took a while, but the actual process took maybe a minute. So it was very painful, but I'm glad that he was able to take it out. And he told me, look, now that it's out, incontinence will stop immediately. And he was right. The second it went out, there was blood. Of course, there is still blood because I still have a couple of stents, but basically the problem went away entirely from a incontinence standpoint. So that was a complication, of course, of the first surgery. But then I had another complication. Just a few days later, I got an infection. So my heart rate had been at that point high for a long time. I had a low-key fever all the time, and I had irritation of the bladder, like a cystis. And I realized this is clearly an infection. I need to have antibiotics. Believe it or not, I went through 2 surgeries or 2 procedures, and they didn't give me any antibiotics. I'm guessing they save all the antibiotics for the animals on farms and are a little bit stingy when it comes to giving them to people who actually need them. At any rate, I contacted a local doctor, because the urologist wouldn't even take a call from me. I contacted a local doctor, and the doctor said, yes, we need to give you some antibiotics right away. Clearly you have an infection. So then I took a course of antibiotics, and things are calmer now. I do still have the stents in, and of course that still causes pain. The kidney on the right, which had the kidney stone pulverized, is still passing these fragments, so I still see blood. Urinary incontinence is gone, but I still have a lot of urinary frequency. I go to the bathroom very often. It's not a pleasant procedure. I'm really hoping that on March 5th, when they do the general anesthesia, they'll be able to go in, remove the stents, everything is fine. It's going to be painful, it's going to be bloody for a little bit, but I'm going to have, I can finally put it behind me and heal properly, and then eventually go back to exercise, lifting, and becoming more of the person I plan to become through this journey of improvement of myself. So that's where my health is. A lot of complications, a lot of pain, a lot of things, but I'm still alive, still losing weight. Maybe all the bad things that I've been dealing with helped a little with losing weight, but I'll take it. It's not the best way to go about it, but I'll take it. And at any rate, I'm happy that most of it is behind me at this point, and this way of eating plant-based will ensure that I'm less likely to develop uric acid kidney stones again. In the future, maybe after the surgery, I might consult a doctor to see maybe if I need a little bit of help with one of those drugs that tend to lower uric acid, because it's also a genetic issue, so my body just tends to produce a little more uric acid than the average person. So we'll see about that, but at any rate, things are going well nevertheless, other than this health issue. And so I just wanted to give an update and tell you where we are at the moment, and perhaps it's too much information for some of you, but if you're interested in following my journey, I wanted to be quite candid and kind of openly share what's going on. So fingers crossed for the March 5th surgery, and I look forward to updating you again probably in a month. After that, once I'm feeling better, I do plan to make more videos. It's just that this month I've been so sick that I really wasn't in the mood to make videos for sure. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't subscribe, please subscribe as well. And until next time.